Hello, friends. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. So, just recently, my sister was here and she was saying, you know what I really need? I need some more cards that will work for men. And she had a fella come over to her house to help her rake leaves and clean up the yard. And she was wanting to give him a thank you card. And she says, I looked through all my stash that you've given me, and I have just a bunch of flowers and girly things. I need some things that I can send to masculine. So, anyway, I really wanted to use this brand new stamp from Pajama Crafter Stamps, and it is totally awesome. Let me pull the set out for us so we can take a look at it. It is the Toadally Awesome Birthday set, and I think it is so fun, and I thought that these frogs could definitely make a masculine card. So I'm going for a thank you card, and I decided to use this little guy because he's just like jumping for joy, but this one would also be a great one, but really all of them would work for this card, but I went with this fella right here. So the other things that I pulled in to use to make this card, I'm going to use this fun confetti stamp right here in our Forever 29 stamp set. And then I'm also going to be using two stamps from the Hats Off set. And that's going to be this circle stamp right here. And then I chose You Are the Best since this is a thank you card. But I love that you can use number one, you did it. You know, if you're going for a congratulations card, I really like this little circle and thing. So what we're going to be doing is creating a You're the Best like winner's badge, and to do that we're going to be using these banner dies, and I'm going to make two of using this small one right here. I also wanted to use this fun double-sided packet of paper, and it's a very sports related, but like I said, I wanted to go with masculine theme, and I chose to use this red and white striped paper right here. All right, let's go ahead and put it together. So I made myself two frames, 4¼ by 5½ red, and then I cut a white one down 1/4 inch smaller on the top and bottom so that I have a nice 1/8 inch outline. Then I cut the striped paper in my paper pad there to the same width as the white one, and then I cut it at a diagonal along one of the stripes to create myself a little section like this. And that is how we're going to arrange things on our card. But before we go any further, I want to take some gold ink and I want to do just a little bit of stamping. So remember that stamp from our Forever 29 set that had the confetti? I want to put some gold confetti here on my base. And some of this will be covered up, but some of it will show kind of in and around my other elements of this card. So I'm just going to kind of randomly stamp that so we have some confetti. And I wish it was a bit darker. There we go. All right, so there's my confetti, but like I said, it's going to be in the background. I may end up doing one more, but I want to position my other pieces to make sure. I may not. We'll see. So another thing that I have done is I die cut just some, I used a few dies out of my stash, and some of those were stars and circles. So here I used just a circle from my stash. Any circle dies will work. I had this one that kind of has a zigzag outline, so that's the one I used. But you could use just a regular circle. It doesn't have to have zigzags. And let's go ahead and create our blue ribbon. So this is from our Hats Off stamp set where I used the You Are the Best and that black. And then I just used a circle die from my stash to cut that out. And now we're going to layer this up. And I think I'm going to use some foam. Grab some foam here. And we're going to use some foam between our layers. So this one I'll go ahead and just glue onto the red circle. And I just thought making this little blue ribbon was a fun way to use our banner set. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my two banners together. There we go. Now, This is some really thin foam that I have, and it's just to add a little dimension there. And now I'm going to take one more foam and I want to set it right here on my ribbons. And I think about right there. And there we go. We have ourselves a nice blue ribbon. Isn't that a fun way to use that stamp and the banner dies? All right, let's go ahead and put these pieces together. And then we'll take a look at our frog and other pieces that we're going to use. So a lot of banner dies are more narrow. So that's one of the things I really like about Pajama Crafters banner dies is that they're thicker and they're great to use for sentiments that are you know, a little larger. But I thought they also worked great to do something like this. It's also using banners like this is a great way to add texture to the backgrounds. Sometimes, like to layer underneath your focal point images and things. And because they're wider, you can layer them up. And if you're using pattern paper, because they're wider, you know, you see a little bit more of that pattern, and it just adds a little more texture to your background. Okay, so I'm just going to put that about right here. And I'm not going to put it down yet secure. I'm not going to tape it or glue it down, but I think I want it about right here. And now let's get our little frog. And my kind of plan for him is to kind of be jumping at an angle about right like this. And I think this is how I want him to be arranged. Now, right down here, I'm going to, and I didn't pull a stamp set that says this. I don't know why, but I want to get this stamp that just says thank you. Or I could use a die, a word die that says thank you to put right down here. And this is going to be for my sister to give to her friend that did the yard work for her. So I wanted it to have a little more shimmer and shine. So we've got our confetti in the background. But I'm going to take these stars that I die cut, and I'm going to add those around here as well. Let's see. Let me put this one over in here. Maybe right there. Larger one right up here. Kind of, there we go. Maybe just have to play with it a little bit to get them where I want them to be. Maybe, yeah, right there. And then I have a couple others. Something kind of like that. I kind of like that. I might have that one down a little lower just to get, you know, that they're just jumping for joy there and so happy. And I'm sure this is how my sister felt when she had some yard work help. I know I would. I do not like doing yard work. So let's go ahead and glue everything down. And I am going to put some more foam there behind my frog so he's on the same level with our ribbon. But let's go ahead and glue down all of our stars. Now, my stars I did die cut out of some gold glitter paper. And this is just me. This I tend to use stars when I'm doing things for masculine cards, and then I'm more likely to go with hearts and different shapes when I'm doing a more female card. So that's just me. I think stars are more masculine. So that's why I chose to go this way. They're also pretty celebratory, you know. There we go. I'll lay this down again just so I... It's teeny. teeny tiny one over here. Now I'm just going to add some glue here on the back of my banners and glue that down about right there over to one side. Okay, let's put some foam on the back of our frog. And I did want to share the how I color my little frogs, and I just used some YG Copic markers to do that, and a couple reds and a gray to do his mouth. If you really want to see a fun tutorial on how to color these frogs, our fearless leader Joy made a really fun card using the frogs, and they are colored so cute. Let's see, I need a little bit of scissors here to trim these down. Right here on his hand. And I'm also going to put a couple more little skinny ones just on his arm and leg there. I think that'll go right there. And this one, it's a little too long. All right, hopefully that's enough foam there to hold him up. We'll put him in place, and our card will be completed. I just kind of want him at an angle like he's just jumping for joy there. All right, there we go. I think this would be a great card for a graduation, a congratulations, or a thank you if somebody has done you a really great favor. So you have room down here to put a secondary sentiment. You could use thank you like I'm going to do, or congratulations, or happy retirement. There's just all kinds of sentiments that you could put right down here to finish your card off. So I hope you like this idea of using your banners to create a blue ribbon, and definitely check out this wonderful frog, totally awesome birthday set from Pajama Crafter Stamps. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. All of these products are listed below my video, and I'm just so happy that you were joining me, and hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you next time right here. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to crafting with you soon. Bye-bye.